Alright, what's going on, you guys? So a quick update on what I've been doing. So after I got it power washed, I brought it back into the little shop here. And the first thing I did was, let me try to remember what I did. I think the first thing I did was I started to disconnect like the throttle, the clutch, which is over on this side. This is the little clutch lever. I don't have the mechanical advantage, so I can't push it in right now, but I just disconnected that. After that, I cut off the exhaust. I had to cut there and over on this side, so I got rid of all the exhaust. And I'm going to reuse the exhaust on the new engine. That way I'm not blowing fumes where you're sitting. It'll go out the back a little. So then I took off the motor mounts. Now there's 4 bolts here. Let me get my light. I took that one out, and then there's another one on the other side, right there. But I took out that side, but then I realized you don't need to take those out. That is a metal bar that goes all the way across. It's a solid piece, and it holds the engine up. So really, you just got to take off the 2 bolts underneath the engine, which I already did. And they were hard to get to, but just with some patience, you can get them. So after I did all that, I took off the 4 bolts that connect the transmission to the bell housing. There's 2 on the top. They were very easy to get to. They weren't corroded or anything. The bottom ones, it's hard to see where they were, but they're kind of back there in that little hole. That's where they went, but the hole's to the side. But nonetheless, I almost had to take out this drain plug here, but the bolt just barely got past it. And they weren't corroded or anything, they were just kind of in an awkward place to get to. So that came off easy. So now I should be ready to try to pull the engine from the transmission. So I guess let's see what happens. Here we go. Okay, I'm back. Man, am I out of breath. If I had one word to describe this engine, I would say heavy. I didn't think it was going to be as heavy as it was. I don't know if I just ran out of strength from yanking on it and trying to get it out of there. But once I got all those bolts out, it was really loose in there. And here, I can show you. There's the first motor mount, and there's the second one. And these ones on the end just hold on this solid plate to support the engine. Whew, excuse me, wore out. There's a bearing. It got a little dirty. But here's the shaft, and it spins real smooth and neutral. But, all right. Finally got the engine out. I would say it probably weighs 200 pounds or more. But, now to clean it up again. Get it all looking nice. Right now I've got the engine, and I've got it not really in place where I'm going to put it, but just kind of referencing and seeing how it's going to fit in there. And it looks like it's going to fit pretty good. Where the seat sits is way up here, so that's not going to be a problem. And I can go out this way farther if I need to, but I got to wait until I get the torque converter. Right now, there's no torque converter on it. And I'm going with a torque converter just because I think it's going to last longer and work better for this application rather than a clutch, a centrifugal clutch. I just think that this setup is going to be better in the long run. The clutches are a lot cheaper, but I would rather just go straight to the torque converter, because if the engine doesn't work on this, I can always put it on something else like a go-kart. So it's just good to already have that stuff on hand. So in this video, I wanted to explain a little bit about my goal here, and I also want to explain a little bit about the gearing and what I'm working with. The gearing seems to be set up really good for what I'm going to do. I'm not going for high speed. I don't want to go faster than 30 on this old rickety 3-wheeler. 20, 25 would be all right. Who knows if I'll even get close to that. I might only go 5. So to start with, This is the Predator 212, and it is the Hemi version. That way, when it's all said and done, I can slap a sticker on the back that says this thing's a Hemi. But I will be taking this apart and removing the governor and the low oil sensor. If you don't remove those two things, if you start going over bumps and stuff with that low oil sensor, it'll start kicking the engine off, and we don't want that. And the governor, just so it'll go faster, get a little bit more speed out of it and power. And I got it lined up roughly where it's gonna go. I got these, I think it's 1-inch tubes of steel. I don't know what gauge, it doesn't matter. And I'm gonna weld them to the frame on both sides. Not on this outer section though, not that, but I'm gonna do it on the frame. So obviously I'm gonna cut these pieces, and then I will drill through them and mount the motor straight to them. Yeah, should work out pretty good. All right, so now for the 3-speed with the reverse transmission. We don't need a clutch, but with the torque converter on there, whenever I let off the throttle, it should stop spinning. It may not. We'll just have to kind of see and figure it out as we go. But let's say it does stop spinning, you can put it in reverse. I got it in reverse, and if I turn this here, you'll see that the tires are spinning also. And reverse looks to be about a 1-to-1 to the drive shaft, and then the drive shaft to the wheels is about a 6-to-1 reduction. So you got to turn the shaft 6 times before the wheels will turn once, which probably should be pretty good for the engine. We'll just have to see though. Like I said, I don't know. Honestly, don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of doing it as a fun little project. And this is 4th gear. It's a little bit harder to turn, but you can still turn it. Here's the back tire spinning. So just from turning that shaft with my hand, it feels like the gearing will be fine for this little engine. Only time will tell, and once I get it hooked up, we'll be able to truly see. But thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful day.